Oyez, 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 all manner of persons have it ought to do before the Honorable, the judges of the several courts being held this day, in for the county of Lackawanna. Come forth and give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth and this honorable court.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the swearing in of George Seig as Magisterial District Judge for Lower Valley. And he is replacing, if it's possible to replace, our really wonderful serving magistrate for many, many years, Teddy Giglio. Teddy, how many years did you serve? 30 years.
It was 15.
After he left the probation office, I don't know which side of the counter he's on. But it really is a joyous day when we talk about the oath of office and the swearing in. There is a practical aspect to it, and as the law requires it, it's the date the person is going to be actually sworn before the public, but it has both a realistic meaning and it also has a symbolic one. And it has the person in front of all the friends and supporters that worked so hard for him to become a magistrate, to in front of him, to give his word, his solemn word, that he is going to follow the law and that he's going to serve those people that voted him into office. We all know George, all of us on the court here have known him for many years, know and believe that the people of the Lower Valley have done a great service for themselves and also honored by the service that George is going to give you. I can tell you for myself, it's beyond a pleasure, it's a joy. I couldn't be any prouder. 20 years ago, I was the person that sponsored George in front of this very bar to become an attorney, and then afterwards he worked for me for many years in the DA's office, and he is a person of the utmost honesty, trust, and friendship to anyone that he comes across. And I can say that George's word is something you can go by. He doesn't vary off the line at all. I am thankful, I'm sure many of you are thankful that this is over with today, because I think George is still afraid there's going to be a recount. Even though he won both sides, every district, every polling booth, and for a week, I don't think he slept. And I can tell you, he was the first person at my office this morning. I think he just wanted to get it over with, like things just getting in. So I think for many of us, George, we now will be able to sleep because of the fact that you're sleeping. Thank you, Judge. Yes. With that being said, we are honored to begin this the welcome with a person who's known and been with George his entire life, his sister, Gretchen Milton.
Good afternoon, everyone. As George's sister, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all here today. I know it's a busy time of year with the holiday ending and everyone trying to get back to work and normal. And the freezing cold we've all been having these last few days. So it really means a lot to see you all here today to be with George. If we think back to last January, where we started at our Karen Janelle's in Old Forge on this journey, it was also freezing cold, and despite that, we had lines around the block, people looking for a place to park, and the room was packed and filled to capacity the entire night. And it was then, as I looked around, that I knew that somehow we'd end up here today. So I can tell you that George is extremely grateful and thankful to his family and his friends for their continued support, their dedication and hard work this past year. And he looks very forward to this next chapter in his career and in his life. And I know he's going to make us all very proud. And that includes our parents who are smiling down on us today. So I'd like to thank you all again for coming. to see him sworn in as the next magisterial district judge of Taylor, Music, and Old Forge. And I'd like to turn it over now to Henry George, who's going to read the commission of office for magisterial district judge as ordered by the governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Mr. Tom Wolf.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Governor Tom Wolf, I will read the commission of George Edward Seig of the County of Lackawanna in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Greetings. Whereas it appears by the returns made and transmitted to me according to the law that you have been duly elected Magisterial District Judge in and for the 45-1-01 Magisterial District in the County aforesaid. Therefore, ye know that in conformity to the provisions of the Constitution and laws of the said Commonwealth, in such case, made and provided, I do by these presents commission you to be a magisterial district judge in and for the place aforesaid. Hereby giving and granting unto you full right and title to have and to execute all and singular the powers, jurisdictions, and authorities, and to receive and enjoy all and singular the emoluments unto said office, lawfully belonging, or in any wise appertaining by virtue of the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth. To have and to hold the said office until the first Monday of January AD 2024. If you shall so long behave yourself well and perform the duties required by law. Given under my hand and the great seal of the state at the city of Harrisburg, this 18th day of December, in the year of our Lord, 2017, and of the Commonwealth, and the 242nd. Signed, Governor Tom Wolf, Robert Jones, Acting Secretary of the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Your Honor, Your Honor, I join you.
I, George E. Seig, George, do solemnly swear, will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
I'll carry out the duties of my office,
I will carry out the duties of my office
Magisterial District Justice,
as Magisterial District Justice
with fidelity.
with fidelity,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Keep the rolling.
Thank you, everyone, and I wanted to introduce
George,
you to...
have your room first.
This handsome young gentleman,
We're
Eric...
going to leave when this is over.
Thank you, Eric.
Here we go. And before George gets to say anything, we are truly blessed today to have with us Bishop Bernard Nowick. Bishop.
As I enter into this portion of the program that includes myself, I do first want to express to my good friend, Judge George Seig, my gratitude for the honor that he's accorded me by allowing me to be present today as Bishop of the Central Diocese and as pastor of St. Stanislaus Cathedral, Polish National Catholic Church, Southside. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And before I go to the prayer, I would like to share with our magisterial district judge a few thoughts from Psalm 119, which I think can be helpful, foundational, nothing new for you, but a reminder that God's words might be appropriated into your new work, in your new position at this time. And it's verses 33 to 41, where it says, "Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I will keep them to the end. Give me understanding, that I may keep thy law and observe it with my whole heart. Lead me in the path of thy commandments, for I delight in that path. Incline my heart to thy testimonies, and not to gain. Behold, O Lord, I long for thy people. In thy righteousness give me life." And now let us enter into the presence of God for a moment of prayer. Almighty God and Heavenly Father, your ways are just and your judgments are true. We beseech you with your never-failing wisdom, and for all the courts of justice in our county and our state, give to all our judges and to those who assist them patience, honesty, and compassion. We would especially remember on this day your servant, George E. Seig, our new magisterial district judge, whose leadership, faithfulness to duty, whose integrity and concern for all persons have been an example to see and to follow. We ask your blessing, O God, upon him and his family as he proceeds to assume his new responsibilities within the county and state judiciary. May he always remember that the people he serves are your people, that he may all the more readily discern the truth and impartially administer justice. Through Jesus Christ our Lord, do we make this prayer this day. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop.
Bishop, thank you. Earlier today, we had a pastor from North Pocono, a Monsignor, but George brings with him his own bishop. I don't know what you're going to do next, George, but with that being said, many of you know George and know that Teddy as the magistrate in the boroughs, and often it's seen as a position that deals with just local disputes. And that often makes it a more difficult one, because it's not strangers that are before them. It's neighbors and family members, people that go to church with, people they go to a grocery store with. So it's not an easy position that Teddy and now George have in regard to being a judge in your own town. Besides that, he also has some weighty cases that he'll see all the time. So you may see him one day down in Old Forge having a landlord-tenant dispute or retail theft. On the other hand, you'll be reading that he'll be here having a preliminary hearing for a murder case. The depth and the width of the knowledge that he needs to have, and also the understanding of the law and compassion for people he works with, is a great weight. And we are confident as a court that George will carry that out. And we look to working with him in the future, as we have in the past when he was a master for this very court. And we're sure he's going to carry out the duties of a district judge just as he did as a master here before this court in the future. And George, talk to your people.
Looking around this room, is from the bottom of my heart that I want to say to all of you. Thank you. I look around and I see people who I've known since basically grade school, throughout my career. People who have stood by me, people that have entrusted me, and people who I like to share my life with. It is truly an honor to be here today before you and having you join with me on this day, because this is a memorable day in my life, a momentous day in my life. And you people that are in this courtroom at this time have not only been an inspiration, but every time I see you, I think of every day I met you and every day I shake your hand as a momentous day in my life. I have members' honors bench, and truly, it has been an honor to serve in front of you and with you throughout my legal career. Ladies and gentlemen, this bench is one of the most honorable benches that I've ever seen. I've been to many counties as a Deputy Attorney General, but none holds the weight of this bench with the honesty, the integrity, and the knowledge. And each of them are anxious to help one another out at all times and get into legal discussions. And then I look over at the minor judiciary, and as Judge Beret said it, I have some big shoes to fill. My dear friend for many years, the Honorable Theodore Giglio, I consider him more than just a friend. I consider him family, and I consider many of the others that are sitting here today family. I hope I can fill his shoes, and I know and I have confidence in my fellow district magistrates that they will support me and I will help them out the best I can. Every time I've ever asked them for anything, with help and understanding, they have been there. Thank you. I have to address also the elected officials in this room. Congressman Matt Cartwright, we keep reminiscing. It had to be about 30 years ago when I was a young man. Congressman Cartwright was going around and he was running for a committee chair, committee person. He knocked on my door one afternoon, Saturday afternoon. We went in and we had coffee. It was a freezing cold day. And ever since that day, we've exchanged Christmas cards every year and we shake hands every time we see one another because a bond and a friendship was developed.
It's always cold out, too.
But I want to address and thank all of the elected officials, the dignitaries that are here. And once again, everyone that is here, I want to thank you. Because without you, my dedication to you, and I'm starting to get choked up, so bear with me, and your dedication to me, I could not have done it. I strive for a goal many years ago. I had a dream, and I set a goal. And due to my family, my dear George, don't start. He and I promised we would not get emotional, and I love him because he is my second father. I will tell you this, my real father, he always said to me, George, if you have a goal, achieve it. Always remember your family and your friends. With them, you will achieve anything. Without them, you're behind the 8 ball. And then he said, and always remember this. It's not what you want to do. Think about it. It's who you want to be. It's an amazing comment, but it makes you think. And I'm happy, and I am proud that I like to think I'm the person that I want to be, because each and every one of you who are here today and who I invited, I love. And I want to shake your hand, and you can trust me, hopefully. Everyone, family and friends, thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's 2 individuals up there. Who said, George, you're getting me going. My mother and father, those of you who have not known, I lost my father 3 years ago, and I lost my mother just in August. But I have my sister, my loved ones, all the way down this row, here and in this room, that have stood by me and made me who I am today. And I pray right now that they are holding one another and they are smiling, because we have set the goal and we have accomplished it. And I accomplished it through all of your support and love. Everyone, have a great day, and I hope to serve you as your next district magisterial judge.